will want to see a scenario, to see our country, to see our motherland, where the reports are published, that we live in a country that is divided into 47 counties. We live in a country that is divided into 290 constituencies. We live in a country that is divided in 8 regional economic blocks, commonly known as former provinces. We will want to have a template that Kenyans will see how the national cake is shared. We are still suffering from the hangovers of independence, where, and not just everybody in power, because power is like a forest. You may be in government, but you even don't know where the last meeting for sharing the national cake was held from. So the very few who are privileged to use the power that the Kenyans have given to them, the power of the pen, to sign a document that will otherwise become an official document that guides where resources are going. Time has come as a country, we must begin to, for us to progress forward, we must have a conversation with ourselves and look, audit our country from independence to today, where we can know that from 1963, how much resources were generated in 1964, how much and how were these resources shared, how much resources were generated between 1970 to 1979, how were these resources shared in our country, how much resources was generated by our country from 1980 to 1989, and we make notes on how those resources were shared. How much of it was collected from 1990 to 1999? How much of it was collected from 2000 to 2009? How much was collected from 2010 to 2020? And how was that resources shared? Once we know how those resources were shared, then we identify areas that were given raw deals, areas that has continued to be marginalized in our country. Then we can say, going forward in the next 5 years, we are going to come up with a budget that is going to equalize our country. We cannot continue living in a country where we have some constituencies, they have never seen a tarmac road. Yes. We have some places in this country where even getting water is a problem. But we have other places in this country where, and you know, I am not being tribal. God himself designed our country in a manner the way it is. God himself is the one who decided that Luos are fishermen and they live next to the lake. It's God himself who decided. It's not Didmus Barasa. God is the one himself who decided that the people from central Kenya, the Kikuyus, they are good business people. They are found near market centers. They are not farmers. It is God himself who decided. It's not Didmus Barasa. God is the one who decided the various economic activities of different communities in our country. So we want to see a scenario where the resources are shared so that they can improve the economic activity of that particular area. For example, If we are saying that Trans Nzoia is the food basket of Kenya, that is where all the maize comes from. If we are saying that Bungoma is the food basket of Kenya, that is where maize comes from. If we say that good maize in Kenya come from Nyandarua or which particular area, then those areas are the ones that should be given priority in terms of having proper access road so that food can be delivered to the market very fast, so that the people from Machakos cannot sleep hungry, they have some food to buy and eat. That is what should guide us. But it should not be guided by this tribalism. That if I am a minister and I come from central Kenya, then my role is to ensure that I pull everything to the people of central Kenya. The reason why we Kenyans will fight is because we feel that we will not get anything if one of our own, if a member of our community, he is not on that table that will decide how resources are shared. So what I'm simply saying here is that we must go back to our constitution. And I have a proposal. I have a proposal pending before the National Assembly to enact a public participation law, that you don't just take a piece of paper to Kenyans to tick that this is what we are going to do. That budget making must originate from the people, not from the executive.